It was an alleged love triangle that turned into a tragic murder mystery. Today, the couple accused of playing a part in the killing of a school teacher went before a judge. And that is our top story on this Wednesday night. I'm Regina Mobley.
And I'm David Ahn. We've been covering this story since it broke New Year's Day. That's when Caroline Hendricks was found shot in a car near Ocean View. Police don't think the 50-year-old was the intended target. Edward Shaw and Taniqua Cushman are charged in the case. The pair had a preliminary hearing in Norfolk today.
13 News Now reporter Ali Weatherton was there and has the story of how this case takes a new turn.
Well, several witnesses testified, and today we found out what exactly investigators found in Shaw's car when he called 911 to report he was shot on the interstate. Some of those things that they found in his car after they searched it was bullets, binoculars, and a zoomed-in picture of the alleged intended target.
I don't think the evidence showed he was involved today.
That's Edward Shaw's attorney, Eric Leckie, defending his client.
Again, no physical evidence, no firearms recovered. I was a little actually disappointed in the presentation made by the Commonwealth today.
One of the key witnesses, Alex Novak, admitted to having a sexual relationship with Cushman. He testified he was with his good friend, Caroline Hendricks, on New Year's Eve. She went outside to walk a dog when she found a suspicious man. Novak says Hendricks got into his mother's van and was shot several times. Novak says the person who shot the teacher was Shaw.
I think it's a wild story, and I think it's going to be a very difficult case for the Commonwealth to prove.
Investigators believe Cushman wasn't only seeing Novak, but also Shaw. According to her attorney, she ended things with Shaw, but he didn't give up.
The person she was associating with is very manipulative.
Investigators say on Shaw's phone they found emails and text messages believed to be from Cushman, telling Shaw she wanted someone to be, quote, taught a lesson. And Shaw says he needs more than a lesson. Investigators believe they were talking about Novak.
Investigator Walsh testified to a very small amount of those text messages, and there are thousands of text messages and data on that phone that really shaped the relationship that they had.
Now, this case will head to a grand jury. Cushman's attorney says she's going to work to try to get her client out on bond. Live in Norfolk, Ali Weatherton, 13 News Now.
Developing now in Portsmouth, doctors are working to save a man badly hurt in a shooting. It happened just before 2:30 this afternoon near Prentice Place in Duke Street. Police tell us the man was shot in the leg. Right now, whoever pulled the trigger is still on the run. We will update you when we get new information from police. A tourniquet saved the life of a Portsmouth police officer. That is the word from one of the region's top doctors as day 3 of the Will Patterson Jr. trial wraps up. The EVMS surgeon testified the tourniquet kept Officer Angelina Baclini alive. She was shot 5 times last November. Prosecutors say Patterson pulled the trigger. They say he shot Officer Baclini when she tried to put handcuffs on him. The 16-year-old pleaded not guilty to the shooting. He will be back in court tomorrow.
Right now, Newport News teachers are fighting for a raise.
They're just coming up with excuses, trying to cloud the issue, manipulating data.
Part of that battle played out during last night's city council meeting. They made it a step closer to making those raises a reality, but teachers still face another hurdle.
That's right. City leaders say the school division already has cash to pay the teachers. 13 News Now anchor Ernie LeBeau explains why some teachers are still skeptical.
Yeah, I actually spoke to a veteran teacher working at Newport News. She told me today that their fight to get raises is an ongoing battle with the city.
At last night's Newport News budget hearing meeting, Mayor McKinley Price says it is time to clear the air.
There is information being circulated that does not accurately reflect the city's financial contribution to the schools.
The 2019 school budget designated 2% raises for teachers, but some say it wasn't enough. The school board went on to request another $300 million from the city to increase the raises to 4%. But at last night's budget hearing, the budget director says additional funds from the city may not be needed because the school board has a surplus.
We believe from these numbers that we look at that there is more than sufficient capacity within the categories of personnel services and fringe benefits to afford all school employees any requested raise
They're just, coming up with excuses, trying to cloud the issue, manipulating data.
But Newport News teacher Mary Voss doesn't think that's the case. She says teachers have been through this before.
I've been talking to school board members, school system officials. They have data that refutes what the city council said.
She's part of a group pushing for the 4% raise for teachers. And she says she won't back down until teachers get what they deserve.
There was 150 people who turned out last night, and I really think that city council should be listening to their constituents.
And Newport News City Council still needs to approve the school board's budget before moving forward. There's actually another budget hearing meeting tomorrow night at the Denby Community Center. Reporting, I'm Erin LeBeau, 13 News Now.
Now, this comes as teachers across the country push for better pay. It started in West Virginia. Teachers there won a 5% raise after a historic statewide strike. Oklahoma's educators followed suit. They marched today during the 10th day of their strike. In Arizona, teachers went red for Ed during walk-ins at more than 1,000 schools. And Kentucky's teachers staged a sick-out to protest pension reform.
A man terrorizes a clerk at gunpoint, and it's all caught on camera. Newport News police released this video from the Tiny Giant on Warwick Boulevard. They say just before 5 yesterday afternoon, the man walked into the store, showed the clerk a gun and demanded cash. Clerk handed the money over, and the man took off towards City Center Boulevard, and he is still on the run tonight. In Hampton, U.S. Marshals helped police make an arrest after a fight turns deadly. Marshals caught up with Dante Hampton on Monday, faces a long list of charges tonight. 13 News Now was there when police tape went up on Catherine Drive back on March 25th. Detectives say Hampton called 2 men to a house there after getting into a fight. Once they showed up, bullets started flying, killing Anthony Floyd. 2 other people were struck. They are expected to be okay.